Man, it's wild how fast life can flip on you. Fetty Wap went from owning the charts to spiraling out fast. He had the fame, the paper, the dream life, and then, boom, everything started crashing down. Legal heat, personal demons, his whole world flipped upside down. But how did the Trap King go from billboard to breakdown? Let's rewind the tape. Back in 2014, a hungry local from the gritty blocks of Paterson, New Jersey, dropped a trap anthem that shook the game. Trap Queen wasn't just a hit, it was a movement. That joint soared to #2 on Billboard's Hot 100 and even snagged a diamond plaque. Major! Soon, Fetty Wap was on fire, literally making history. He became the first male rapper since Slim Shady to stack 3 songs in the top 20 at the same time. Straight takeover. But behind all that shine, Fetty, real name Willie Jr. Maxwell II, had been battling pain since birth. At just 6 months old, he lost his left eye to congenital glaucoma, a rare eye condition that messed with the pressure in his vision. Growing up in Paterson, that made him a target. Kids didn't hold back. He had to fight daily just to stand his ground. There was even a day he got so fed up, he threw a whole desk at another kid. At 12, doctors gave him reconstructive surgery, but when he turned 18, Fetty said forget the fake eye. He rocked the real him, no cover-up. That move became his signature look. But don't get it twisted. That confidence came with pain most people couldn't even begin to understand. Fetty came up hard, no lie. He was broke, sleeping on carpets, not even a bed to his name. After dropping out of school, he hit the streets just to survive. "I didn't even get to use no bed. I was lucky to have a carpet," he told The Guardian, getting raw about the grind. He remembers watching his little sister struggle while their dad hustled to keep the lights on. It was rough. But when Trap Queen exploded, everything flipped. That track changed his life.
Come when I was little. Matter of fact, my mother is here actually.
Tell him about his eye right now.
How old was I when I lost my eye? This is the right answer.
6 months.
I was 6 months when I got.
It got him signed to 300 Entertainment, and by 2015, Fetty was the hottest name in the streets. His debut album flew to the top of the Billboard 200, and tracks like 679, My Way, and Again had every block on smash. Fetty wasn't just making noise, he was collecting trophies. Billboard Music Award, iHeartRadio's Top New Artist, 2 Grammy nods, all eyes were on him. But just when his career was reaching crazy heights, tragedy pulled up fast. On September 26, 2015, while riding his bike in Paterson, he tried to pass a car and crashed head-on into another one. The impact was brutal. He broke his leg in 3 places and got rushed to the hospital. But Fetty kept it solid, hitting Instagram with a message for the fans. "I broke my leg in 3 places, but I'll be all right." Even then, the cops hit him with tickets. No license, no insurance, no registration. Just more proof that even with success, the struggle don't quit. Still, Fetty was stacking money like crazy. He said himself that the cash was flooding in. And you know he was living it up. Cribs everywhere, a garage full of whips, and blowing stacks on designer for the whole squad. Fetty rolled heavy. Wherever he pulled up, the squad came deep. Sometimes he had 30 people in tow, all eating off his plate. His monthly bills? Around $150,000. And he was copping designer jeans for the whole crew like it was pocket change.
Bro, sleeping in the car and I'm watching my baby sister lips turn purple while my father's somewhere trying to make something happen.
Right.
When it came to shows, I saved a lot of money, he said. But let's be real, this man was getting paid insane numbers. When someone asked about his biggest bag from one gig, Fetty casually dropped a number that had jaws hitting the floor. Dubai. Different level of money. But behind all that flexing, things were getting messy in his personal life. Fetty had 6 kids with 5 different women. Aiden, born in 2011 with Ariel Reese. Xavier in 2015 with Ledjai's Yona. Kari in 2016 with Masaka Kalisha, Amani in 2016 with Elena Parker, Lauren in 2017 with Turquoise Miami, and Zai in 2018, again with Lejai. His relationships with the mothers, all over the place. Some said he stepped up as a co-parent, others aired out the drama. His love life stayed making headlines, especially when he married model Leandra K. Gonzalez in September 2019. But that marriage crashed fast, ending in divorce in under a year. No kids, just chaos. Then came even more heat. In January 2017, a sex tape of Fetty and his ex Alexis Skyway leaked online, dragging his name right back into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Through it all, Fetty tried to show he was still locked in as a dad. In interviews, he kept it real, saying being a father meant showing up, not just throwing cash. But in 2020, tragedy struck. Fetty's brother, Twishon Depew, was gunned down in October. That loss cut deep. Fetty poured his pain out on Instagram, grieving hard for the brother he loved. By 2017, that glow Fetty Wap had, it was fading fast. The same dude who once had the whole game in a chokehold was now dropping singles that just didn't hit the same. Jimmy Choo, in 2016, barely scraped to number 65. Wake Up made it to number 50. And Kiki in 2018 hit number 43. But none of them came close to his epic 2015 wave. Fetty started noticing the shift when his checks got lighter, way lighter than what he was used to during his peak. That's when the reality hit. The game was moving on.
Love, man. Love and time, bro. Money don't mean nothing. And trust me on that, bro. You don't want to ever be looked at as the person with money. You want to be looked at as dad.
He tried to bounce back when Wake Up went platinum in 2016. For a second, it looked like the comeback was real. But just as quick, the buzz died out again. According to fans on Reddit and heads in the industry, there were a few reasons Fetty's momentum tanked. He wasn't switching up his sound while hip-hop was evolving. His label, 300 Entertainment, was dropping the ball with how they handled him. And he missed key chances to stay hot. Some fans even said his flow got too repetitive, though not everyone agreed. Fetty didn't hold back either. In a 2021 sit-down with Fat Joe, he called it like it was. The people I had around me wasn't experienced. Nobody was experienced, honestly. He called it homeboy management, and revealed he was fronting money for tours and expenses out of his own pocket. And that's with a deal in place. The pressure started to break him down. Fetty admitted, "I kind of got depressed in a sense." That mental weight pulled him away from music for years. Meanwhile, the bills kept stacking, and he realized that flashy lifestyle, it was draining him dry. When COVID hit in 2020, it straight up crushed the game for artists like Fetty. Live shows? Gone. And that was a major source of his income. Streams weren't hitting like before, and with no tour money rolling in, Fetty was boxed in with nowhere to turn. By 2023, from behind bars, he opened up in an interview and got real. As fans stopped purchasing my music, I turned to the life I once knew. That meant sliding back into the trap. And that's when things really spiraled. On October 29th, 2021, the feds swooped in and grabbed Fetty at Citi Field in New York, right before he was about to hit the stage at Rolling Loud. He got slapped with serious charges, accused of being part of a major drug trafficking ring. They said he helped move over 100 kilos of coke, heroin, fentanyl, and crack through Long Island and Jersey from 2019 to 2020. This wasn't some small hustle. This was big-time weight. The feds came in heavy. They seized $1.5 million in cash, 16 kilos of cocaine, 2 kilos of heroin, stacks of fentanyl pills, plus multiple straps and ammo. They claimed the crew was moving product from the West Coast using USPS and tricked out cars with hidden compartments. But this wasn't Fetty's first run-in with the law. back on November 2nd, 2017, he got busted in Brooklyn for drunk driving and drag racing. He later pled to misdemeanor reckless endangerment, paid a $500 fine, lost his license for 90 days, and had to take driving classes. No jail that time. Then in 2019, he caught another case in Vegas for allegedly putting hands on hotel staff, though those charges ended up getting tossed. For the federal drug case, Fetty first pleaded not guilty and posted a $500,000 bond. But in August 2022, things flipped again. His bail got revoked. Freedom gone.
Kid, it's time, bro. Word up.
Nah, that's real. That's
So
because
if I had to give you any advice, bro, when they come, you spend as much time as you possibly could, because you can never, ever.
It all got worse after prosecutors said Fetty flashed a burner on FaceTime in 2021 and threatened to mech someone. That move got him snatched up fast. They threw him in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, keeping him in protective custody because of his fame. Then, on August 22nd, 2022, Fetty switched up his plea. Guilty to conspiracy to distribute 500 grams or more of cocaine. That charge came with a mandatory minimum of 5 years behind bars. His legal team argued he only went back to that life because COVID wrecked his income and he had mouths to feed. But the court didn't go easy. On May 24th, 2023, U.S. District Judge Joanna Siebert sentenced Fetty to 6 years in federal prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. The prosecutors wanted even more time. They said Fetty used his fame to glorify the drug game. In court, Fetty took full responsibility. "Me being selfish in my pride put me in this position today," he told the judge, apologizing to his fans, his family, and his whole community. He made it clear he was just trying to hold down his people in tough times. "I only ever wanted to help my family." Fetty wasn't the only one caught up. The case had 6 defendants total, including 4 co-defendants: Anthony Leonardi, Robert Leonardi, Brian Sullivan, and Kevon Wiggins, all of whom also took plea deals. One of them, Anthony, was a former New Jersey corrections officer who helped move weight. He got hit with 72 months in March 2023. Judge Siebert called Fetty's case one of the hardest of her entire 30-year career. She pointed out the wild contrast: a man who had everything most people dream of, fame, fortune, and a family that had his back, yet still dove back into the trap. For fans, it was a tough pill to swallow. Some were heartbroken, others were disappointed, but everyone agreed. It was a shocking twist for a star who once had the world in his hands. Some people just couldn't wrap their heads around it. Why would Fetty risk everything? On Reddit, one user said, "I never understand these people. Like, you've made millions from your hits and could keep making millions just touring the same songs. Instead, you run drugs?" The confusion was real, but not everyone was feeling sympathy. Another Reddit comment came in harder. His lawyer said he sold drugs during the pandemic because there were no shows. One, even before the pandemic, he flaked on shows. Two, "I'm sorry, I can't feel bad for someone who made millions but couldn't invest right or stay afloat. 6 years is a deal, honestly." Twitter wasn't any softer. One tweet read, "These rappers make bread from music. Why they still trapping?" And another joked, "Rappers trying not to throw their life away selling drugs. Challenge." Difficulty? Impossible! Even with all the backlash, Fetty wasn't letting the bars silence him. In November 2023, while still locked up, he dropped his 3rd studio album, King Zoo, featuring a guest verse from Coi Leray. The project proved he was still locked into the music, even from behind prison walls. And just when people thought it was over, the streets started buzzing again. In early 2025, his old hit, Again, started blowing up on TikTok and Instagram Reels. The fans were still rocking with him heavy, but being locked up meant he couldn't fully ride that wave or cash in on the momentum. Still, Fetty's staying solid on the inside. Word is, he's been keeping his head up, working out, staying focused, and laying out new plans for his music comeback. Big names like 50 Cent and Coi Leray have shown him love, helping him stay motivated through the storm. As of April 2025, Fetty Wap remains in the Federal Correctional Institution in Sandstone, Minnesota. His scheduled release date? March 13th, 2027. In February 2025, Fetty shut down early release rumors with one simple message. He reposted an Instagram story from his sister, Divinity Maxwell, that read, "He's not out yet." From inside, Fetty's been finding peace through music and reflection. It's a wild contrast for someone who once flexed about making $100,000 a day. Now he's surrounded by concrete walls, living on a strict schedule, and limited contact with the outside world. But even behind bars, Fetty's proving he's cut different. The Zoo Gang leader hasn't let prison break him. Instead, he's been using the time to get his head right and focus on what really matters. Locked up at the Federal Correctional Institution in Sandstone, Minnesota, Fetty's kept a small connection to his fans through rare social media posts and occasional drops. That time in the pen has clearly sparked something in him. He's reflecting more, growing, and shifting how he sees life.
Out of everything I've been through in my life, that was the worst possible feeling I could ever have, because they always say you're not supposed to question God. Right. But 4 years old, no health problems. What the like
why?
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so many questions.
That growth shines brightest when he speaks on fatherhood. Even though he's physically separated from his kids, he now understands that being a real dad ain't just about throwing money around. It's about being there. That's a lesson he admits he learned the hard way. Fetty's been breaking down the difference between being a provider daddy and an actual father. You can hear the shift in his mindset. It's deeper, more grounded, and it's no doubt been influenced by both prison and the heartbreaking loss of his daughter, Lauren. Through all this pain, he's come to value the things he once took for granted. And even while doing time, Fetty hasn't let go of the grind. In November 2023, he dropped his third studio album, King Zoo, featuring a collab with Coi Leray. Proof he's still about that music life, no matter where he's at. Coi Leray's feature on King Zoo wasn't just for hype. It symbolized Fetty's growth as an artist. Before his sentence, in 2021, he dropped The Butterfly Effect, a project packed with meaning, especially after the loss of his daughter. The title wasn't random. Fetty explained that the butterfly effect, how small actions lead to major consequences, was the perfect metaphor for his whole journey. He called the album "Really Like My Life Story," as much as I could give in 17 songs. It was deeper, more personal, more open than his older tracks. But even then, he still kept some parts to himself, some pain too private to put on wax. While behind bars, Fetty hasn't been feeling the way the industry's treated his music. He thinks the work he's putting out deserves way more love and promo than it's been getting. And he's not afraid to call it out. He broke it down in his own words, saying there's a difference between what he does as the artist and what his label should be doing to push the music. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're not artist, he said. That line showed a more mature, clear-eyed understanding of the business. Unlike the early days, when he was doing everything himself and burning out. Even with the challenges, Fetty's proud of how real his new work is. He's shifted gears, from chasing chart hits to focusing on authenticity. Now, it's more about truth than trophies. And the fans? They're still tapped in. In January 2025, his 2015 classic Again started blowing up all over again on TikTok and Instagram Reels, proving the love for Fetty's sound never really left. Through it all, Fetty's kept a calm, grounded outlook. Even from inside, he's finding peace while riding out the storm, still reflecting, still creating, and still evolving. Fetty's been through serious loss. 2 brothers, his daughter, and his grandparents. All gone. But somehow, He says he's found a bit of peace in the chaos, a calm in the storm. One thing that still pops up in a lot of his songs is his signature number, a playful shout-out to his roots. Even when the subject matter gets heavy, Fetty finds a way to sprinkle in that same humor that made fans connect with him from day one. That spark ain't gone. Then came a cryptic post that had fans buzzing. On Instagram, he wrote, "I'm on borrowed time." The internet lit up with theories. Was he hinting at an early release? Something deeper? When asked directly what it meant, Fetty stayed quiet, leaving the mystery wide open. Despite the silence around that cryptic borrowed time post, those close to Fetty say he's been deep in thought, not just about his past, but about his next chapter. Behind bars, he's reportedly been filling notebooks with lyrics, ideas, and personal reflections. Word is, he's planning something major for when he touches down in 2027. People who visited him say Fetty's focused, calmer, and more locked in than ever. No distractions, no wild entourage. Just a man who's learned the cost of fame, bad choices, and broken trust. He's been cutting ties with people who only came around for the clout and rebuilding his circle with folks who keep it solid. Sources claim he's even been studying the business side of the industry, no more relying on homeboy management. This time, he wants ownership, full control, a real seat at the table. While fans wait for his return, the buzz hasn't died. If anything, the mystery around Fetty Wap has only made people more curious. What will he sound like after all this? What kind of story will he tell next? One thing's for sure, when Fetty Wap steps back out, the world will be watching, and the story's still unfolding. As of April 2025, Fetty Wap remains locked up at the Federal Correctional Institution in Sandstone, Minnesota, with a scheduled release date set for March 13, 2027. In February, he addressed early release rumors head-on through social media, confirming he's still doing his time. During this chapter, Fetty's been focused, staying in shape, writing, and plotting out his next music moves. And he hasn't been alone. Industry names like 50 Cent and Coi Leray have been showing love, keeping his spirits up while he rides out this sentence. Whatever comes next, one thing's clear. Fetty Wap's story ain't over yet. If you've been locked into this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts on Fetty's journey. Do you think he'll bounce back bigger than ever? Hit that share button to put your crew on, and we'll catch you in the next one. You don't want to miss what's coming next.